Welcome to the lesson that will demonstrate how to decorate your vision board on a shared Google slide. You might want to go ahead and review the directions on slide 2. You would then go to the slide that you were assigned and start setting it up. As you can see, the notes are on the bottom of what you will be representing on your Google slide. You want to have 6 to 8 images representing those comments along the bottom. So you could go to Insert Image and search the web and type in something like travel if that's one of the things you want to represent. If you want copyright friendly images, you would set it up differently. However, if you want to insert images this way, you would type in what you want. Let's say you want to be a doctor when you grow up. You would find an image, select it, and then choose insert. You would then want to resize it because you want to be able to fit 6 to 8 images on your slide. If you want a copyright friendly image, you would go to Pixabay, which is a fabulous website, and let's say you type in doctor. So let's say you want this image. Go ahead and open it up. You would click down and you would drag it until the slide is available. Click down and let go. That's a shortcut.
Shortcuts are cool and save lots of time.
And then you could resize it so it fits nicely on your slide. Do make sure you change your name. So if your name is Cindy, you would put Cindy's vision board. I'm going to go ahead and add more images to represent my vision board by looking at the comments below. So I added 6 images to represent my interests. So I like to make my images roughly the same height. You don't have to do that. And if you wanted to do any cropping, this is how you would crop. Let's say I want to crop this middle image here at the bottom. I would select it, go to the crop tool, and make sure that the arrows are straight so that you can push it over. And now that is the same size almost as the image above. You don't have to do this. I'm just really picky about how things look on my slide. And if you notice the images are roughly the same size, you don't have to do that. Now if you want to put a border around all the images, you would select one and hold the Shift or Control key to get the other images. You would then go up to the top, choose the border weight. I like thin, so I'll choose thin, and I'll go ahead and make it black, which it already is. Now I have a nice thin border around all my images. If you really want to be organized, you can select the images on the top, hold the Control key, go to the Arrange option, align along the top, and then arrange again and distribute horizontally. That way they're equal distance apart. Again, this is just me. I'm really picky. If you want to add titles, you would choose Insert, Word Art, and I will type in being a good cook, and then I'll hit Enter. Now that's obviously really big, so I'm going to go ahead and drag it towards the center so it's smaller, and this is kind of hard to read. So you're going to want to go ahead and go to the paint bucket and choose black in this case. I'm going to go ahead and go to the border and choose transparent. Now this is really still hard to read. So what you could do is drag it to the bottom so that it pops up. You want to change the text, go ahead and select that word art, go up to the top and choose a font that you want to change it to. Now that's a little more readable. I might just have it totally off the slide. I'm going to show you my example I did earlier. As you can see, I used different fonts. I made them roughly the same size. Notice I didn't give text for every single image, and that's okay because when students come in to look at your slide, they may ask questions or try to make a guess what you're trying to represent. So for example, this image is of the Himalayas, and the intention was to go and see the Himalayas. This image is world peace, and this is world travel. So again, you could have a really good conversation with your peers when you're assigned those students to give feedback. I'm going to show you a shortcut. I did change the font. I'm going to go ahead and do Control C for copy and then Control V for paste, and then I'll drag it. That way I don't have to go and insert word art again to add my other text boxes. To change it, you would double click on it and then type it in. See polar bears. And you can change the font so it's something different if you so choose. So I changed the font. I might make it a little smaller by dragging from a corner and making the text a little smaller. I wanted to point out that I added 2 images that have a transparent background. That makes it a little more interesting. So I'm going to go to my slide. I'm going to go to Pixabay and I'm going to type in world peace, because I always think that's fabulous. And I'm going to choose color and then transparent and then go. And I'm going to look for an image that represents world peace. I went ahead and changed it to peace because there's a lot more images. Since the dove is usually a symbol of world peace, I will select that. Notice the checkered background. That's because it's transparent. I will then drag it, and then when the slide pops up, I will let go. And I will probably have to resize it, so I will drag it from a corner. And I might go ahead and get a couple more images to represent my slide. Do not add titles for every single one because you want the students who are grading you or providing you feedback to ask questions, have a conversation. I wanted to show another trick. I added this photographer, and I want to go ahead and flip it and drag her over here because I want her to be facing the other direction. So with that image selected, I will go to the Arrange option. I will choose Rotate and then Flip horizontally. That way she's flipped. And I'm going to go ahead and balance my slide out. I'm feeling very confident about the looks of my slide. So this does conclude the session on how to set up your vision board, and then you will be providing some feedback to students that will be assigned to you.
Please be respectful of your peers and only edit your slide. You only go to slides to give feedback in the comment section.
Until next time, you have a wonderful day.